Carrollton, Georgia.
What's up, Adam? Thank you very much for waiting on the line. Mick did a great job, man, but now you're on the show, so take it away, man. Go ahead.
Roll Tide, Kyle. Yeah. Hey, I just want to say, man, I got my cigar. I ordered it from R&R.
Okay.
So for the Tennessee game, but I got one from my friend in New York City. But anyways, hey, I tell you what, Alabama is the quarterback heaven.
Yep.
I tell you, man, Mac Jones today was just phenomenal. I mean, he held his poise. He stood up straight. He was straight. And he did everything possible to help win this game. Right? Yeah. But, I mean, Alabama just spits out quarterbacks like there's no tomorrow.
I think when you look at kind of the play of Mac Jones, and I think a lot has to do with the continuity of Steve Sarkisian. I've talked about that a lot before. And you kind of look at his overall numbers, 24 of 32, 417 yards with 4 touchdowns. I think he did a fantastic job, and he was certainly hit. I mean, who saw him get hit? Everybody saw him get hit, right? And then we knew that Georgia's defense was going to come. Yep. But I think what was great about him tonight was you saw him show some frustration, not from a negative standpoint. He's just a perfectionist. And I think he saw a couple opportunities that he missed on, maybe where he held the football too late. But I mean, look at the overall production. I get it. Trevor Lawrence is throwing for a gajillion yards against ACC teams. What Mac Jones did tonight, I think, was fantastic. 24 of 32 against the best defense in college football. 417 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, this kid is playing at such a high level that, I mean, 400 yards for 3 straight games. I mean, that's fantastic. Go ahead, continue.
And the way he moves his feet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, he's there and then he's not there. You know what I mean? He misses tackles. I mean, he had a few tonight, but.
Well, I think one of the things that Mick and I were talking about as well is sometimes he just a simple incompletion just to get the ball away rather than like taking the sack or making a bad decision. And that comes from leadership. That comes from understanding kind of down in distance. And I like Mac. He doesn't force. He forced maybe like 1 or 2 passes, but overall, I think he did a fantastic job. I really like where he's going. Final thought, buddy. Go ahead.
I didn't like the defense quite as much because they were shifting a lot. You understand what I'm saying? They were shifting back and forth, but they did their job, and it's really good to have Nick Saban back on the field.
Yeah,
God bless his family. God bless you, and man, I love this show.
All right. Thank you so much.
And I love Alabama football. Roll Tide, roll, baby.
All right. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah.
And, God bless you too. Appreciate it.
Hey, Kyle. This is Brandon in Coleman, Alabama.
Brandon, Coleman, Alabama. All right, buddy. Go ahead. Thank you very much for calling in.
All right. Well, I just had a couple things that I wanted to mention. First of all, we really appreciate what you do. And I think that Alabama Insider has been very insightful. A few things I'd like to mention, a couple points I'd like to go by. First of all, I think a lot of people have been giving the defense a lot of slack, like a lot of criticism, and it's a new era of football. I think that they've proven that defense used to win championships, but now if you can't put points on the board, it's not going to win a championship. Not these days. Not against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Smitty. I think Smitty was a clutch player of the game. Jalen Waddle opened up some holes, of course. Najee Harris did his thing. The defense stepped up. They made turnovers when they have some turnovers when they needed to have turnovers. They changed the game. They controlled the tempo. I saw Alabama's defense get a push times, at least a few times in the game, where they moved that line of scrimmage back. And that's something that I think was reminiscent of the old defenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to give the defense some credit. And also, I think an unmentioned player of the game that people probably won't mention is going to be Patrick Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that earlier there was a caller, and I think his name is Jeremiah out of Florida, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, anybody who says like 30 times in 2 minutes probably doesn't know what they're talking about. So the DBs played, I think, fairly well. And Patrick Surtain played lights out. They tried him. I don't know why they kept trying him, but he played very well. And this is the Saban coach team. And I think this game played into Alabama's hands because it's the number 2 Alabama team. Alabama seems to not respond as well when they're number 1, but them being number 2, I think gave them the edge that they were looking for. And I know they heard the criticism all week, Kyle. I know they heard the criticism about how they weren't any good. This wasn't the same defense. And it's not. This defense bends a lot more than defenses that we're normally used to seeing. And I think that because of the criticism they heard all week, again, it's the Saban coach team, and I'm sure he used that to his advantage. And we were all blessed that he was able to be on the sideline today. And it's just, it was one of those games where I didn't think it was going to be a close game. I thought that Alabama was going to pull off in this game, and I had my doubts. Of course, going into halftime, I had my doubts, with Georgia being up, but I still saw Alabama controlling the game more. So I was not as worried about it as I was with some other games. And I really just think that they played a really great game and probably one of the most pivotal games of the season. And shout out to Mac Jones, who had his third 400-yard plus game against a team that wasn't Georgia Tech. And I really believe that this team, I have a good feeling about this team when it goes coming down the stretch. Because, Kirby probably is in the best position to try to defeat Nick Saban. I know a lot of people say Kiffin was, but you're not going to beat Alabama team with a good quarterback and a tight end or just a couple threats in the backfield. So I think as a team, they played great. They played great ball. So I'd like to just give a shout out to the whole team, the defense as well, and Mac Jones, man. If there's anybody else who they think is a front runner for the Heisman, and I think they're smoking.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that this is my first time ever calling into the show, and I'm sure I'll be calling back at some point in time. You kind of caught me off guard here. I didn't know I was going to. I figured there'd be 100,000 people trying to call in right now.
We have 200 busy signals right now, so we got to move to our next caller, Brennan. But thank you so much for calling in. Call again next time, man. We'll definitely take your call. Okay.
All right, Kyle. Thank you.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Take it easy, man. All right. That was Brandon calling in from Coleman, Alabama. I think, when you look at the overall, the Mac Jones, the play is ridiculous, right? I'll post the final stats, but let me make sure that those are accurate. Here's the final stats. He was 24-32, 417 yards. And just like Brandon said from Alabama, we appreciate the call in, Brandon. Thank you so much. This was his third straight game for 400 yards. And what about Najee Harris? A quiet 152 yards off 31 carries. No one's even talking about that, right? And actually, it was the first rushing touchdown that Georgia allowed all season long. Devontae Smith, look at that number. I'll get the stats for you, and I'm going to take my next call in just a second. I just want to quickly grab the defensive stats while we move on to our next caller. All right, we're going to talk. We're going to take our next caller right now. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Robert from Mobile.
Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing tonight?
Hey, it was a tale of two defenses. In the first half, it was the same old. We're all upset over, and I guess that didn't bother so much. It's okay in the second half. Okay, you didn't play well, but we finally made adjustments that worked. Now, the Georgia's quarterback not being a prolific passer helped a lot because he missed a lot of guys that Trevor Lawrence can hit, but they did do better. it's like you have a child and they bring home D minuses in the first quarter, in the first half of the year at school, and then they bring home B pluses in the second half, and they average a C. Okay, that's average, but hey, we'll take it. That's an improvement, and I guess that's what we need right now. Okay, this defense doesn't need to be the A plus that we're all accustomed to it being, and which we all used to enjoy years ago. But if you guys can just be a B minus, B plus, a B minus, C plus defense, against good teams, we can win with that. And that's what we saw in the second half today. Now the first half again was garbage, and especially when he jumped offside for the second time, I was just so upset with that. I said, goodness gracious, guys, that's just ridiculous. And it gave Georgia more points, another touchdown. But they made adjustments and they improved, and I mean that's all we ever want. We would love our A plus defense back again, but it's going to be a while before we see that again. But like you guys said, Mac Jones, his body of work, which that body of work they used to use against Alabama, we're picking for the playoffs. His body of work is better than anyone in the nations right now.
Oh yeah,
as far as the team he's beaten.
Yes,
and the Alabama's body of work is better than any teams in the nation. Yep. So the AP is worth a flip. They will make Alabama the number one team after this game. You got the A&M win, which is continuing to be a good win.
Yeah. And
now you've got Georgia. Clemson has none of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Robert. And I was thinking about, looking at the rankings, I would still probably put Georgia at the 3 spot. I'm not sure where they're gonna put Clemson, I would assume, at the number 1 spot. And that's far away talk, but like we've talked about before, Robert, I think that a team that's only going to beat Alabama is a team that can outshoot Alabama. And kind of when I look across the landscape of college football, I only see one team. And at least in my opinion, and I say that because look at the teams that have beat Alabama in the past, right? The Auburn, they had that offense, and of course, a lot of it was because of their defense and the turnovers. But you look at that LSU team. So kind of when I look at the landscape, is there any other team out there that can keep up with this offensive attack? Because what Mac Jones is doing right now is Heisman-esque.
And he has the marquee win of the year. I mean, nobody else is going to have this marquee win of the year unless Georgia just totally collapses, which would then take away from it. But Ohio State's not going to have anything on their schedule that's going to be this high. And now in Clemson, their schedule is the usual joke that it is. The ACC is just a joke. So if you go by body of work, which again, I used to get nauseous hearing that phrase when they were trying to think of reasons why Alabama shouldn't be up there at the top. Alabama's body of work is the best. And again, A&M will probably continue to be a really good win for Alabama as they keep winning and progressing. And they're running an all SEC schedule. Nobody else is going to have that on their resume if Mac Jones continues to run there. The reason why he keeps getting gets not overlooked or whatever is because of Devontae, of Jalen Waller, of Najee Harris, all the weapons he has. And you people say, well, anybody can run. Any good quarterback can do that without that many weapons. Yeah, okay, to the degree that is true. But we're watching him drop the dimes, and we're watching him take the hits. He took some hits tonight, some big hits. That Trevor Lawrence won't have to. He can watch him play. His uniform is hardly dusty. Mm-hmm. But Mac Jones had to take the big hits tonight, and because he faced the best defense in college football, something that Trevor Lawrence isn't going to see till maybe the playoffs. So and Heisman is announced before that, which is probably we wouldn't change it till after the playoffs. But it was definitely it's definitely great to see the defense improve, and again, Mac Jones again is just doing things that has never been seen in an Alabama uniform. Even with Tua, I'm still not ready to be better than Tua, but he is creeping to be just as good as Tua very quickly. Like, good time with you, buddy.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate it. Always good dialogue from our buddy Robert down in Mobile, Alabama. I look at what Mac Jones has done, and I'll get his overall stats and show them here in just a minute. I think, what Alabama is doing from a quarterback standpoint is fantastic, but I just want to give a quick rundown real fast on the defense. I'll get to my next callers in just a minute. Hang in there, guys. I appreciate it. you look at the stat leaders right here on the defensive side of the ball. So tackles, the leaders was DeMarco Helms. He started for Jordan Battle, 11 total tackles in this game with 1 pass breakup. You had Dylan Moses, who had 10 tackles. DJ Dell, who I thought played fantastic with 2 pass breakups. And then my game ball, probably on the defensive side of the ball, would go to Christian Barmore, 3 tackles, but I thought he played ferocious, right? There was several times where he was just down and dirty playing against a very physical Georgia team. What do you guys think about Christian Barmore's play? I'd love to hear from you guys inside the comment box. And of course, we'll take the calls. Super chats, definitely appreciated. New members, whatever, you can hit the join button, but super chats, we really appreciate it. And how about Mick Gillespie, man? I'm just really proud that he came with it tonight. So thank you very much. We'll move on with the show. We'll take our next caller right now. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Yeah, this is Ed from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hey, what's up, Ed? Thank you very much for staying up a little bit. Well, I guess, you're a couple hours behind, but all right, Ed, you're on the line, man. What's your takeaways from this game tonight?
Well, I just want to give you a compliment. I called you a couple weeks ago. I told you I discovered you a couple of months ago, and I think you do a good job. The minutia, the detail you get into, and as far as the game tonight, I want to talk about the wide receiving core.
Yeah.
I think this year and last year, we're talking about, some of the greatest receivers I think the college game has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
These guys now are just amazing, and they're so talented now. And what they do, it's necessitated the whole overhaul of the way offenses play now, and like you and your previous host talking about how we can't expect the Alabama defenses from when C.J. Mosley was playing. It's just the game's too wide open now, and the receiving core tonight was absolutely beautiful.
I think first of all, Ed, thank you very much for the compliments earlier, but I think you bring up a great point. I mean, look, how many programs in college football could get back on track after losing Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs? Those are like, generational type wide receivers. Alabama loses those guys, both first round picks. One made $15 million, one made $16 million. And then look who comes back, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. The way Devontae Smith has been playing, the energy that he exudes spills over to the entire offense. I think he provides a lot of momentum. Look at what he did tonight. Look at what he did last week. He had 11 receptions for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Jalen Waddle, 6 receptions for 161 yards with a 90-yard score. And I think this is the new age of college football, and that's not a bad thing. I think Alabama, has shown that with a quality quarterback, which they've had, for the last several seasons, and now with these wide receivers, that they're the most dangerous team in college football. And yes, I get the old days were all about running the football. Now, Alabama can beat you through the air or through the ground. I mean, look, we're not even talking about Najee Harris, who had a quiet 152 yards rushing.
Yeah, I think we're going to be there again, man.
Yeah, I think it's just it's kind of a matter of time. Anything else, Ed, while you're on the line?
No, go ahead and get to some other callers. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Ed. Thank you so much. Ed out in beautiful Salt Lake, Utah. All right, we'll take our next caller and leave. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Chris in Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, Chris, go ahead, man. You're on the line. Go ahead.
What can I say? Well, the defense itself, it's got a decent one game. They have the chip on the shoulder that they answer for, and but still got a lot to tie up. Let's see. And honestly, it's ironic how like everybody was talking about Bryce Young, and you have the golden gem that is the Mac Attack Jones. Right underneath everyone's noses. Honestly, I never doubted Mac Jones even when he lost to Auburn, because he actually never had a bad game in the Auburn game. Those 2 pick sixes were honestly, one of them was a mistake, the other one was just a coincidence.
Hey, Chris, Chris, unfortunately, your connection's not too good, so I'm gonna answer you on the other line, but I'll continue to talk about Mac Jones, and I'll sprinkle some Bryce Young for you. Sorry about that, Chris. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the connection, it's not your fault, man. But to get to Chris's point, and he's talking about Mac Jones, and there was kind of that camp, if you guys remember, like coming into this season, and I think this was what Chris was talking about. I mean, the people didn't feel that Mac Jones could get the job done, didn't feel he could win the game. How about now? How about those apples, right? He comes in and he beats the number one defense in college football, right? I think what he did tonight speaks volumes. This guy can win the big game. This guy can win a national championship for Alabama. Everybody wanted to see Bryce Young, and Bryce Young is going to get his. But right now, the team is Mac Jones, and the way he played in the Citrus Bowl, the way he played against Auburn, the way he played in the opener, the way he played tonight is something that everybody should be proud about. I mean, what he's done. Think about this, fam. 400 yards in 3 consecutive games. I think he's the first Alabama quarterback to ever do that. You guys had Tua Tagovailoa. I feel that we'll never see another Tua Tagovailoa again. And look what Mac Jones is doing. Really unbelievable. We'll go to our next caller. Sorry about that, Chris. No hard feelings, man. Definitely call again. It was just the connection, man. Hello, you're on the line with
Hey, what's going on, Kyle?
What's up, man? Who am I on the line with? Is this Demetrius?
Demetrius Prince from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, man. Turn the volume down in the background before we get going.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the SEC network. Yeah. I just wanted to call and comment on, great overall win for the team, and if we can look back on the season, that 52-yard kick that we've been desperately needing for the last 3 or 4 years, that's going to turn the whole program around for this season. And defense, maybe folks can start getting off Pete Golden back a little bit, made the second half adjustment. I don't want to hear this nonsense that, Stetson Bennett ain't no good quarterback. Hey, you look at Georgia's last several games, in the second half, Stetson Bennett stepped it up. And and the defense stepped up and, made a couple key plays. So that's all I got to say. I know you got more calls coming in.
No worries, Demetrius. Stay on the line for just a second, Demetrius. Let's talk about because I want to talk about what you were talking about in those second half adjustments, what Alabama was able to do. So you look at the drive series. I love looking at drive series, the overall game chart, right? So the first was an interception. Remember, they both had an interception. Then Georgia went punt. And then after that, Kirby Smart found a rhythm. They had momentum. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Okay, so you go into halftime. Georgia's winning 24-20. And just like you said, the momentum of that 52-yard field goal by Will Reichard, that must have fired up the entire team. So Alabama goes in the halftime break down by 4. They come back out and look at the drive chart. It's at the bottom of your screen. Punt, interception, and then a field goal. So the 2 punts, that's the defense. Those are adjustments. That's the defense getting off the field, right? The interception, that's the defense making plays. I get it. Someone pointed out that first interception, they were probably going to score a touchdown. We'll never know. It could have been a field goal. Point is they were driving. But my point is, look, the defense also has to step up and make plays and play opportunistic defensive football. And that's what they were able to do. They play like this. They're able to make some stops. There's no one in college football that's going to be able to stop this Alabama offense. So if they play like this, I think they'll be all right. So I just wanted to make sure you get that, Demetrius, because I totally get where you're coming from. Anything else while you're on the show, Demetrius?
That's pretty much it. And and also I see a lot of Clemson fans in the chat. Your turn. I mean, I'm glad we number 2. We need to stay at number 2. If they can drop us down number 20, that'll even make me more happier.
All right, Demetrius. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
As my buddy Demetrius out in North Carolina, man, I'm serious. I'm telling you, you guys, I appreciate the phone calls. I appreciate the support that you guys give to me. And I hate it when you call in and there's like a bad connection, because I feel really bad that I might not be able to take your call. So don't be offended, because I wouldn't just cut you guys off like that. Like, if the connection isn't good, I have to move on. That's just how the show works. So no hard feelings. I'm actually doing this all myself. So I'm answering these phones blind. So I appreciate all the thumbs up, the super chats, whatever. But a thumbs up goes a long way. We're moving on to the show. All right, next call. Are you on the line with Kyle Henderson? Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Oh, Sean Wiley. My name is Sean Wiley.
Okay, where are you calling in
I
from,
live
buddy?
in Hogansville.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game, because I was sitting there just talking about it over weeks and everything. And I told many people, Alabama was a really good team, and people shouldn't be down on that team. I was an Alabama team in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Well, coming in 2015, I've been there for like 5 to 6 years, and it's pretty amazing how Nick Saban just came out there today and just did his thing. He wasn't calling them plays. He was creating plays and giving to the defensive coordinators just to call them. And that was really good today.
Well, who was your on offense? Who was your offensive MVP, most valuable player?
My most valuable player is going to be Matt Jones.
Yeah,
I have to give it to him.
And I asked that because there's so many guys to choose from. But I'm with you, Sean. I think that Mac Jones, I mean, what he's been able to do against the #1 defense in the country, I mean, you got to give it to him.
Mm-hmm. I was in there just like, I was pulling up the stats and everything. I was like, Matt Jones is way better than the Georgia rookie quarterback, because there's a reason why. And there's always going to be a reason why. You can talk down on that kid all you want to, but he got the talent. He got everything. Whatever you can give him anything, he'll do it.
I think he's been great. Give me on the defense. I mean, what was kind of your take on the defense? Did you see improvement from that Ole Miss game into this Georgia game?
Oh yeah, I was sitting there just watching it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there just watching it. I was like, man, this is gonna be a battle against Wills, because every time they score, we score. It was a comeback. But when that second half, we had to make adjustments at that time, because we weren't rolling as we supposed to. We weren't doing the things that we needed to do, like we always been doing over the past few years. I've been watching the games and everything, and there was a reason why towards it. It's not because we suck, no, because people just underestimated us too much, and then when we always come back, we always going to come back no matter what.
All right, give me a final thought, Sean.
My final thoughts on this game, this is a pretty good game, and I'm always continuing to support my team, and I always want to continue to watch them, and hopefully we get through this season very well as we wanted to, and just roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you. Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate it. Sean from Hogansville calling in. Appreciate it, the call. All right, we'll move on to our next call, and we'll take that right now. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Man, I'm Anthony, calling from Tallahassee.
Hey, what's up, Anthony? Man, what a wild one in Tallahassee, man. Florida State was able to survive.
Man, listen. Oh, my God. I apologize for cutting you off. My voice is gone. I was at the bar with my brother, and he's a Florida State fan. And for us to be in the same building, going back and forth with each other, and also going back and forth with looking at the game and looking at each other's game, it was hectic, because they were, 31-7?
Yeah.
Then only be 3 points to win, and then we go from interception, first play, to winning that thing. Roll Tide, baby. I love it. You don't even understand how excited I am at this current time. And I got to work in the morning, man, overtime and all. But it is what it is.
What do you make of this? This play of Mac Jones. I mean, it's really incredible to see him just continuing week after week to continue to ball out.
Man, listen, they said that we weren't going to win this game. I had doubters from the beginning, including family members, saying that we were not going to win against Georgia's number one defense. And for us to come out and him show this charisma and this swag, even being hit, even being, going through what he went through, and for us to come out on top, and just have this explosion and epic play. It was amazing, bro. Like, my brother was talking mess, I was talking mess. And for us to both win, God damn, it was crazy. I apologize for cursing. I don't think we're allowed to, but it was crazy.
Hey, tell me, before I move on to my next caller, what were you thinking when Alabama hit that 52-yard field goal?
Man, bro, I said, they tried to stall him out. But I said, you know what? In my gut and in my heart, I say stalling him out is the best thing they could have did for him, because look what he did. He came back and it was dead accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have put anybody else in his shoes. And I thank God that we have him as our kicker, man. He's cool.
So Alabama's finally found their kicker, man. Well, Anthony, you enjoy that victory, Alabama over Georgia. Your brother enjoy the victory over North Carolina. You guys sleep well and enjoy your Sunday.
Yes, sir. You too. Blessings on blessings.
All right. Blessings on blessings. Thank you. That's Anthony from Tallahassee with their big win tonight over North Carolina. Credit to Mike Norvell and their staff, man. What a wild season they're having. All right. On to our next callers. We got so many callers in the queue. I literally have 300 busy signals. All right. So I appreciate it. I'll get to as many as I can. We're about to go SEC late night past dark, but hey, let's get it. All right, next caller on the line. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Connor from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm in enemy territory.
No kidding, man. As we kind of turn the page of the Vols, man. So Connor from Tennessee, man. All right, so go ahead, man. What your take on the game?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I'll keep it short and sweet, that this was sort of a, in my opinion, a signature win, if you will. It reminds me a bit of 2015, the loss to Ole Miss, followed by the blowout against Georgia. Go figure. I just wanted to point that out, that, there were so many questions about the defense giving up 45 points to Ole Miss last week. Issues against Texas A&M the week before that, and then coming into this game and just rising to the occasion. Signature Nick Saban type style win. Really excited about that. Really excited about Mac Jones' play, the receivers as well. All around, again, just a signature win.
Hey, Connor,
and that's what you want to see in a season like this.
Yeah, Connor, before you break out, man. So Nick Saban has gone the gauntlet of former assistant coaches, man. I mean, look, Jimbo Fisher couldn't do it. Next up, Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Took him the limit. Next up,
absolutely.
Kirby Smart couldn't do it. Guess who's up next? You're over there. You're in enemy territory, man. Jeremy Pruitt, another former assistant. It's unbelievable, right? And then after that, you got Mike Leach. And then, then you got LSU, then you got Auburn. I mean, it's an amazing schedule. I'm loving it. But, Nick Saban now 22-0. Tennessee losing today like they did. Is it just a quarterback problem? It seems like it. I think the line's got to be real heavy on Alabama going into this next matchup against the Vols.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Tennessee has more problems than just quarterback. I think losing today in the fashion they did kind of ruins the demeanor of the team overall. Because you're going to go into Saturday with, you're 2-2. You just got blown out by Kentucky at home. You have that fire because you're playing Alabama, but at the same time, the season is, I mean, I hate to say it, it's all but over for Tennessee. So, yeah, I'm fairly confident about that. And, yeah.
All right, Connor. Well, thank you so much for calling in, man. Appreciate it. You stay safe behind enemy lines, and I'm sure you'll have more Alabama fans your way here in just a few days. All right, take it easy, Connor.
For sure. Thanks, man. You too.
All right, Connor. Sounds like a good dude out in Knoxville, Tennessee. Went to Knoxville a couple seasons ago. Had a great time. Neyland Stadium, they played Rocky Top like 5,000 times. So Alabama and Nick Saban traveled to Tennessee. Up next, we'll have coverage on BamaInsider.com. Of course, we'll take our next caller starting now. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's up, Kyle? This is Sam from Alabama.
Hey, Sam, what's up, man? Appreciate you calling in. I mean, we waited for this game. The game came. And it ended. Alabama came out heavy. Your take, man.
Yeah, man. I remember I talked to you this morning.
Yeah.
I came close. I got half of the score right. I said 35-24. I got the 24 right. They came close though. Also, when I talked to you this morning, I said that I don't know if you probably don't remember because you can't have so many calls. The receivers, I said that receivers. I think our receivers can create separation against their DBs, and they did that today. And also, Will Anderson, even though he didn't make as many plays, he did. He was disruptive though.
Yeah.
He was very disruptive. On the defense in the first half, it reared its ugly head in the first half with the tackling. They didn't show too much toughness, a lot of mental mistakes, leaving guys open, the running backs especially. Daniel Wright, he was a blessing and a curse today. I don't know what to say. He's still a liability though. Christian Barmore, he was out of all the defensive linemen, man. He was the most disruptive one. I mean, he did cause a fumble.
Yes.
I don't know if too many people caught that. He did. He was very disruptive. Got a couple of batted passes.
Yep.
He did a good job. And that 82-yard touchdown by Cook for Georgia.
Yep.
Don't that play remind you of what Kenya Drake against Florida back in 2015? I think of 2014. Do you remember that play?
Mm-hmm.
Kenya Drake against Florida, it's the same play, man. It was a mismatch. You got a skilled guy and a running back against a linebacker.
Took advantage of Christian Harris.
Yeah, exactly, man. You got to get on credit for that, though. They saw the disadvantage there, and like I say every week, man, they're gonna create some type of mismatch with these running backs, and they have these type of running backs that are fast and they're very elusive. So offensively, Steve Sarkisian did his thing again, man. He did his thing, man. Najee Harris is that dude. Jalen Wallow is a mismatch. The offensive line, they did okay. There was a few errors there, but they did okay.
They were challenged.
Mac 10,
yeah.
Huh?
The offensive line was challenged. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, Mac 10, what can you say about the guy? The guy worked hard, man. You can tell he put in the work to become that guy.
Yeah.
He showed his accuracy. He showed his toughness. He's very gritty. He get knocked down, but what do? He get right back up, and he want to come back at you. And that's what he did today. But that guy, man, that guy that I really, really am proud of, man, that's Devontae Smith, dude.
Yep.
Devontae Smith, he got a slight frame on him.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy's tough and gritty. And he put in that work because I think I heard that he catches 100 balls after practice every day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I can't recall him missing a pass this year. Now, he may have, but I can't recall it.
Yeah,
I can't recall.
The thing about Devontae Smith, he's absolutely one of my favorite players since covering Alabama. I think we got here the same year, which was in that 2017 year. And what he's been able to do from the time he got here to now has really been unbelievable. I mean, you talk about production and you kind of look at what he did overall, kind of stats wise and number wise. It's really remarkable. I mean, the kid is just can catch everything. He's so humble. 11 receptions. Last week against Ole Miss, what do you have? Like 13, 12 receptions or something like that. I mean, he has over 30 catches on the season. So humble, all about work ethic. What else you got, man, before you break out?
A couple more things, man. After we scored the first touchdown, what happened? We kicked the ball out of bounds, man. The kicking game.
Oh yeah.
But I got three things. The punting was subpar, I think. Three things, and I got a question for you. The three biggest plays in the game to me was, of course, when I think it was Barmore that tipped the ball and Justin Abobi got the interception, which kind of turned the tide. Malachi Moore with the interception, you got to turn them away from going in first territory, getting points. And lastly, Will Reichert, man, with the 52-yard field goal before the half, dude. Come on, man.
that was
Will
crazy.
Reichert, man. He stepped up again. He was big, man. And then let me ask you one question. I see that you all have been posting the press conferences of Kirby and who was it? Lane Kiffin last week before the game. Will y'all continue to do that before and after the game? Show their press conferences before and after the game also? Can I hang up and I listen to you on the other side?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So for everybody, kind of how the press conferences work is I personally upload Nick Saban's press conference, like physically, like I personally do that. I want to make sure that that's taken care of. And most importantly, that the audio is taken care of. Like I think as I found, the audio is the most important thing. Like, the video is good and it needs to be perfect, but I am such a perfectionist that I have to make sure that the audio is right. So I personally take care of that because it gets so many views. And then throughout the week, we also get, opposing press conferences sometimes. Like this week, Georgia made those availabilities accessible to us, and I will have Kirby Smart's press conference. So like after I break out here, I'm going to upload the videos for the players, and so I still have plenty of work to do. So that's kind of, long story short, I'll get those up right here on our YouTube channel. Okay, we're going to move on to our next caller. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What up, Kyle? How about Mac 10?
Mac 10, baby. Man, what an amazing performance. Who am I on the line with, though?
I saw Caleb from Memphis.
Caleb from Memphis. All right. Caleb, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. I know you're a frequent caller. Mac 10 is just doing his thing. I mean, such an incredible performance. What were your major takeaways from this game, Caleb?
Well, I really, the thing that distinguishes Mac, from Tua that I've noticed from the past is Mac is a really good decision maker. He's not gonna, he's not gonna force anything. If he sees it, he's gonna take it. But it's one of those deals where, on that third down, it was third down, and his tight end was supposed to come back on a curl, and Tua, or, any other quarterback for that matter, might have just ripped it, expecting him to turn around and catch it. But Mac actually took the split second and saw that he was running the out route and just took the sack.
Mm-hmm.
So for all we know, that could have been picked. That could have turned into 7 points for Georgia. But dude, think about Sark. Like, what an amazing job he has with all those guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my God. He literally has a wealth of riches. He could just call any play, and I personally think the MVP of that game is Najee, because he can go out for passes. He runs through the tackles. The defense always has to account for him, and the O line. I mean, dude, Mac. I don't think he's touched the earth. I mean, he's not getting sacked at all. I mean, he's keeping his pocket presence is great.
No, he got tagged. He got tagged one time in this game, a couple times. But I get what you're saying. He's, for the most part, the O-line has done a good job, and he's got the ball out, when he's needed to.
And I also think regarding the defense, in the second half, it looked like Saban kind of switched up to zone a little bit more. Which they kind of looked confused. Like the previous caller, I love Daniel Wright, man. He's a little bit of a liability, though. I love him to death. I mean, he makes plays when he needs to, but and they get kind of lost whenever they're in man. And I noticed Saban was playing some man and kind of like a cover one type deal. And when they switched up the zone, I feel like that helped a lot. And Dylan Moses, I don't know if it's just me. Dylan Moses looked a little off tonight. I noticed in the run game he was shooting the wrong gaps. You know, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but
sure.
Dylan looked a little off. But I'm going to tell you, buddy, if we can get that run game or that run defense going, and we can get that O line to gel and get that run game established, just to set up the play action. I just don't, like you said earlier, it's going to have to be somebody that can score at least 35 plus points to beat this team. So, but yeah, man, that's what I call and talk to you about. But I think the MVP of this game definitely goes to Mac 10. I mean, he's the best deep ball thrower I think I've ever seen. He's just an incredible quarterback, makes very few mistakes. And I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Caleb. I appreciate it, man. Call again next time. It's always good to rap with you.
Thanks, bud. You too.
Caleb from Memphis. No, I think when you look at, kind of the overall play of Mac Jones, as we've continued to talk about, like Caleb said, that those are the best deep balls he's ever seen. I disagree with that. I think Tua, every single time Tua went downfield, it was unbelievable. It was like just complete magic. Now, what Mac Jones is doing, and I do agree with Caleb on this, is Mac Jones is instinctual in the fact that he's a great down and distance guy. So I love how effective he is across the middle of the fields. But I love that there was a couple plays, and Mick and I were talking about that when he was here, that, if pressure's coming, he's able to dump it off. He's not going to force anything. He's not going to force a turnover. And I think he's been so effective in doing that this year. I know he threw another interception, and the 2 interceptions that he has this year have both been tip balls, right? So though you could argue those aren't really even on him. That's just good play from the defense. Georgia made a good play. Texas A&M made a good play. All right, we'll move on to our next call. Hello, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is John from Sevierville, Tennessee. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, John? Thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate it. Your takeaways from the game today. Can you actually turn down the volume in the background, please?
I have, I don't know if there's any loud noise, but
okay.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, John, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, buddy. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hard day's worth of work, man. But I feel like today, I worked hard for it, saw my team come into play. This is all around team win, but point blank. Mac Jones, from where we saw him last year to where we saw him this year, he's improved. And like our wide receivers, they just keep getting better. Even though we lost guys last year, you saw the play on the field tonight. A little bit of miscues here and there, but nonetheless, total team win. And I love it. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was sitting next to a Georgia fan, talking to him. Nonetheless, Georgia, absolute respect. Win or lose that game, we won, of course, but nonetheless, all respect goes to Georgia. I'm very proud of our team. And Kyle, I thank you guys for what you do. It's always fun to watch you guys. I missed a few chances to give you calls this week. I've been watching you all week, man, and just very happy. Get to go to bed. I'm off tomorrow, so very happy with the win. That's all I got to say, guys. Thank you.
All right. Good night, John. Appreciate it. Get some rest out there. We appreciate you calling in from Tennessee.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. We'll move on to our next caller. Tennessee. There's definitely some beautiful. Tennessee is a beautiful state. I love going up there. All right. A few more callers that we'll roll through. I appreciate it, man. And thanks for being here with us. We've been, going at it all day long. Still got some work to do after that. We got to get the player interviews posted. We got Kirby Smart as well. After Alabama defeated Georgia, and then, much more coverage coming your way on BamaInsider.com. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, and thumbs up for Mick. To be honest, man, Mick is, he's working for free right now. That's the guy wants to grind. So I'm trying to be able to grow enough to add him onto the staff, because really feel that he provides such great context to the show. And, I really respect people who want to grind and want to work. So, thumbs up. Anytime you see Mick, give him a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And thumbs up this video. Super chats also appreciated. Thumbs up, certainly goes a long way. And most importantly, subscribe. All right. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Hunter from Harper, Alabama. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, Hunter? Thank you very much for going SEC After Dark with us, man. Your takeaway on the game. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. First of all, I want to say shout out to our defense, man. I told you earlier today that I thought that the only way we were going to win this game is to play defense and to tackle, and I think we did a pretty good job with that. Second of all, how close did I come to winning the prediction challenge? My score was pretty close, I think. Mine was 38-21.
38-21. We'll have to go back and listen to the other score predictions, because there were some people that were pretty spot on today. I don't know if anyone got the exact right score. So if you did here, watch, what I'll do is I'll put my email up. This is my email, fam. Kyle at Bama Insider. If you got the score like right on the dot when you called in, send that to me at kyle@bamainsider.com, and I'll definitely hook you up with the gift card. Hunter, you were close, man. You didn't get the exact score, but man, you knew that Alabama was going to win by a few scores. I mean, let me ask you this. I've been asking everybody this. When Will Reichert hit that 52-yard field goal, did you feel that would kind of spur Alabama in the second half? Because it looked like to me that Alabama went into halftime with so much momentum just because of this big kick by Will Reichert.
I think it was part of it. To me, I'm going to slightly disagree with some of the other callers and saying that 90-yard touchdown was the real driving force for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. I think that really ignited our offense.
Yeah.
And really ignited, frankly, our defense, too. When we have that 90-yard explosive play right there, I don't care who you are. And that's just gonna make you excited, especially for the other players. But yeah, that 52-yard field goal was awesome because we've struggled in the kicking game for the last several years, and for that to happen was just it was huge.
All right, final thought, Hunter. Go ahead, man. Take it.
Yeah, final thoughts is just, man, shout out to Jordan Battle. I mean, he came in the second half, and I think he was one of the guys that can make those calls and make those adjustments in the defense. And I think we did that in the second half. I think that's what contributed to some of those stops there. Him and Dylan Moses working together to get those calls in really makes a big difference in our defense. And you really see that into the second half. So I think that really contributed to our defense being able to play well in the second half.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Hunter. I always appreciate that you call in. I always appreciate the dialogue that we have together. So thank you very much for calling in, and I'll catch up with you next time.
Man. Much respect. Roll Tide.
All right. That's Hunter from the great state of Alabama. Hunter called in this morning, called in this afternoon. Yeah, you guys like the SEC after dark? Yeah, I mean, because we always push past midnight, because Alabama is always in the evening time. So I always love to grind it out. You gotta that midnight oil. I don't mind. I don't mind the work. You guys know me. I love, honestly, to grind. So don't mind me. I'm with you guys. I feel good. All right, we'll take our next caller. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Nate from good old Georgetown, Kentucky, my man.
All right, what's up, Nate? How you feeling, man? SEC After Dark. Hey. Welcome to the show.
Hey, grind on, brother.
Yeah, it's the only way I know.
Hey, I tell you what, man. From the great state of KY, produced Sean Alexander, Damian Harris, Jedrick Wills, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Big time players.
Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, no doubt. I'm feeling good, man. I tell you, I was watching the game earlier, and the great thing about the Tide, man, is Saban, he's gonna make those adjustments at halftime, and first half, I wasn't worried at all, man. We're gonna come out, we're gonna get it taken care of in the second half. We got it done.
I mean, I think so. I mean, I have the drive chart and I've put this up a couple times. I mean, you look at what Alabama was able to do in that second half, and I want to rewatch that second half and kind of go over the schematics of it. But punt, interception, and then a field goal towards the end of the game, which is kind of, just some added on points for Georgia. But during that second half, you really saw Alabama, who was the better team. I think Alabama played that complete second half. And I think that's a great testament. I'm seeing improvements from the defense. I know people, want to point fingers at the defense, and rightfully so. I mean, there's no reason that Alabama should ever be allowing 30 points a game or whatever, but this is a new world of college football. But the defense, I mean, to me, the biggest problems tonight, and I respect that they came up with plays, but the tackling, it seems like they don't have proper tackling. A lot of arm tackles, a lot of missed tackles. Are they going to fix that? I have no idea. But that's kind of, the takeaways going forward. But I was glad to see them play. Christian Barmore play like a man on fire. I want to see more production from guys who play up to his level.
No doubt. I tell you what else is big is the deflections there from the defensive line.
Yes.
They got their hands up when they couldn't get to the quarterback, man. That was big, with the smaller quarterback like those Stetson there. That was big tonight.
Final thought, man. Take it away.
Hey, I was going to tell you one more thing, man. Looking to next week, man, with Jared Guantanamo Bay, we're going to get it taken care of. We're going to put the balls down by about 50.
Yeah.
We're going to put it on put it on next week. Hey, appreciate everything you do, man. You, the crew, man, and Bone, love you guys. Continue the good work, my man. Roll damn Tide, brother.
All right, man. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it. Nate from the great state of Kentucky. You know what? This is going to surprise you guys. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've lived in Iowa. I lived in Alexandria, Virginia. I lived in Washington, D.C. Now I live in Tuscaloosa. I've never been to Kentucky. I need to get up there, right? I need to get up to Kentucky. All right. Here's beautiful. All right. Couple more callers. We'll cruise through it. All right. Let's take our next caller. Hey, Harold, what's up, man?
Hey, yeah, man, it's Harold from Anderson, man.
Yeah, I got you, man. Hey, Harold, turn down the volume in the background, man.
All righty. Yeah, man, I wanted to make sure I thank y'all for this, man, because I know it's way past y'all time, man.
Oh, you're good, man. You're on the line. Take it away, man. Your impressions of the game.
Hey, man, Mac 10 was awful. I mean, I'm awesome. That's what I want to say. Mac 10 was awesome. I couldn't hardly get it out, man, because I'm so impressed by the dude, man. The offensive line did a great job, too, man. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times there, in the first half and drive. But Mac looked like he was just confident, man. We messed up, but, man, we get a couple, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I like that confidence he had, man. He don't get down on himself. My man Najee, man, he was running the ball hard, man. I knew we were going to need him in the second half. If they got any kind of lead, man, we were going to need him, man, to try to run that clock out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Devontae Smith is a beast.
Yeah. He's so
the defense, though, I'm kind of, I'm looking at the defense like you just said a few minutes ago, man. I saw missed tackles. We're still not getting that kind of pass rush. And we still playing kind of weak up the middle on the run, man. But when Coach Saban had that little interview at halftime, man, I get the idea. It's not they don't know what to do. It's just not getting done, and they're still not covering backside of the backfield. I think that's just the middle linebackers, man. We don't have those middle linebackers we've had in the past, that were just, how you say it, had a high football IQ, man. I don't know what it is. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like sometimes you look at Dylan Moses and you're like, that's the Dylan Moses that, we thought he was going to be. And then other times you're like, man, what happened to this guy? There was a couple times, though, that I saw Christian Harris provide pressure. I'd like to see more pressure from the defense. I thought there was a specific third down that Georgia actually scored a touchdown. Stenson Bennett overthrew two wide receivers on two different plays. And then a third time they took a timeout and then they came back and he threw a touchdown. There was no pressure in that red zone. And I don't get why you don't put pressure on a younger quarterback like that. Because it's not like you can just stand back and he's going to pick you apart. I think if you put pressure, he's going to make mistakes. And I think Alabama did that in the later part of the game. And you saw him throw interceptions. When they put pressure on him, he threw interceptions.
It started to break down, man. You're right. When they get after it, man, he was going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I see teams now, man, these teams now that we playing, when they get the 4th down and 1 and 2, man, they're going for it because they know we weak up the middle on that run, man. In the past, man, 4th down and 2, they wouldn't think about running on Alabama defense like that, man. Now it's just a foregone thing, man. 4th down and 2, go.
Yeah. All right. Harold, final thought, man. Close it out.
Hey, I'm just like the other guy said, man, I'm glad for the win, man. I think the offense is great. They need to keep honing their skill because I want them to set every record they can. The defense, man, it's still work to do, man. Hey, no time to slow down. It's work to be done. And thanks, guys. Love y'all.
All right. Appreciate it. Love you too, Harold. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for calling in. All right. We got a couple more calls on SEC After Dark. I'm your host at SEC After Dark, Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com. Give me a second while I tweet this out. All right. 1 second, fam. Had to tweet something out. Hey, will you guys follow me on Twitter? I'm like, I don't tweet my life away. So, but it's rivals_Kyle. I'll add that right here. So if you guys have Twitter, that's my handle, rivals_Kyle. And like, I don't really like tweet every single thought. Like if I tweet something, I find it impactful. So you can follow me, but you can find me right here on YouTube. I love chilling with the fam. So couple more calls and then we'll wrap it up. At some point, I gotta go to I gotta get some more work done, believe it or not. And then I'm gonna hit the hay and then be back tomorrow. Be back tomorrow with the reaction podcast. Can't stop me, fam. All right. What's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey man, it's Anthony from Long Island. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, Anthony? It's been 1 week since we caught up, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's the guy, man. Last week I was getting called out for the
Hey, but, man, it's all good, man.
It's all good. Take it. It's so funny because I do that. My wife tells me that all the time that I do that, and I did it again. But anyway, I don't want to take your time. It's after dark. I called in earlier, took the miss. I just want to reiterate as far as you bringing up second half adjustments, which I really think that they did. And I like that they went to zone. I think they should go to zone a lot more. And when Georgia was bringing the running backs in motion, I like them. What they did was they, instead of having the linebackers being a mismatch on them, they just brung them off the edge and started crashing them off the edge in the second half. And I really like that adjustment. That was one of the first times, a few times, obviously, that I've seen adjustments from them besides them going to different packages and everything like that. They still need to clean things up because it was plays to be made. The pass rush has to get way better. It definitely got a lot better in the second half in this game. And Mac Jones, I mean, what more can you say about him? I don't think there's anybody playing better than him. We are wide receiver U. I mean, you go back to Julio Jones. Yep. You go back to Amari Cooper. You go back to, I don't want to forget anybody. I mean, I'm talking about dominant. Amari Cooper. Who else am I forgetting? I mean, we've had Ruggs. We've had Judy last year.
I mean, you had Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones.
Exactly. That's the one I was.
Jerry Judy,
Calvin
Henry
Ridley.
Ruggs, Smitty, Jalen Waddle. That's crazy.
I mean, we've had Kevin Norwood. We have had Kenny Bell. I mean, but as far as prolific as the Ridleys, the Coopers, the Judys, the Jones, the Waddles, Devontae Smiths. I mean, now Mechie, people can't leave Mechie out. And I mean, the one big thing I want to alliterate, and I'll let you guys just want to get out of here. I love the show. I love what you and Mac do. I appreciate you guys. Big thing. We got a kicker. That was a momentum swing. I know the Waddle play, the interceptions. Devontae Smith, the picks, all that is momentum changes. I'm not taking that away from anybody and everybody's opinion on it. But me personally, I think that was the biggest play in the game and where the momentum shifted, because Kirby was trying to get everybody off the field, rushing into the locker room. Georgia was pumped up. They were dancing. They were smiling in the tunnel, waiting to get out of there. They got to come back on the field, and he drills that 52-yard field goal. And what do you see? Alabama celebrating and going into the back line. And I think that's what was the momentum swing. I love you, and keep doing the good work. Roll Tide.
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate it, man. Good people there.
All right. Talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. Anthony from New York. I love my New York callers. I need to get up to New York more often and ride with the good people in New York. Love all our callers. Jedrick, Q, Anthony. We good following from New York. It's funny, like you watch the show and you start to get all the personalities and you start to know your callers, right? Like I know who my callers are. And someone once said in the comment box, they're like, man, like all these people from New York breaking down Alabama football. And hey, man, it's not like just Alabama is just a state brand. I mean, this is a worldwide brand. We have, viewers from New Zealand sometimes that are watching, or from across the globe. So no, it's definitely a national brand. A couple more callers and then we'll close it out. I see you guys on the line. Hang tight. I'll be right there. All right. What's up? Good evening. Kyle Henderson, you on the line. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the line, man. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
From Fort Mitchell, Alabama.
Okay. What was your name?
Jim Hall.
Okay. Connection's kind of bad, but go ahead. Let's see if we can get you in. Go ahead.
Alabama did a great job tonight. The defense still lacking. I don't understand why they're sitting back and letting them throw underneath, and they're leaving the offense wide open. I mean, it's just terrible. But Mac Jones, he's been great all along.
Mm-hmm.
He's been sitting on the sidelines waiting on a chance to play, and nobody's seen it or said anything about it.
Yeah, I think the progression of Mac Jones has been really amazing to see, that he's came in, waited his time, and now that he's clearly leading this team. Was there any positives that you saw on the defensive side of the ball? Maybe a player, maybe, there was a specific play that you saw something from the defense. For me, I've been talking a lot about Christian Barmore. I thought DJ Dell, he batted 2 balls down. What about you from the defensive perspective?
On the defense perspective, they batting the balls down. I don't know what they practiced over the last week, but 100% turnaround.
Yeah.
If you can't get to the quarterback, bat them down.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was great, because that was a big difference in the game.
Yeah.
If they hadn't did that, this game could have been completely turned around.
No, I think so. You clearly see that the coaches are working with the defensive linemen. Maybe that came from Freddie Roach, who coaches the defensive linemen. Maybe that came from overall kind of the defensive scheme. But I think you're right. I mean, that big pick early on in the game was, a big catalyst to kind of, how this defense played. Anything else? Final thought while you're on. Go ahead.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, right. Just roll Tide. All right, buddy. Well, have a good night. Get some rest, and we'll catch up with you next time.
All right.
All right. We got a few more callers. 3 more callers. The 678 area code, 716, and a 205, and then we'll cut it. All right. So SAC After the Dark. Stay with me. We're taking our next caller. Hey, what's going on? Good evening. SEC After Dark, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Jay in Atlanta. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you very much for calling.
I can't sleep.
I know.
It's too good. I can't sleep. So here's my point. Okay, first of all, I was posting on the board today on y'all's earlier show, 42-27. That was my call. And that I've never wanted Georgia to make a kick against us, except that 5-6 minute mark left in the game just so I could brag on it. I would have been off by 1 point. But I want to say shout out to Barmore for sure. Surtain was playing really well. Pope looked good, and our Job looks good. Sorry, Job looks good, and I think that I think Wright still needs a little work.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was blowing it in the Ole Miss game. He showed some improvement. But here's the thing on D that really stood out. When they said that Georgia ran that reverse on Tennessee last week and it got 40 yards, if Georgia had run that reverse on the Bama defense that played in that Ole Miss game, it would have been probably a touchdown. So I was seeing that discipline on that edge control, all the guys, and that reverse was well executed, and those guys held their assignment and shifted left and ran that thing to the edge, and that was one of the more impressive moments where I was able to say, hey, all right, our defense is starting to get educated here. And I will say this: if you go back when you watch highlights from 2014, 2015, the Reuben Foster era, Ragland, C.J. Mosley. Yeah, you can go back and relive those times, but our offense wasn't necessarily like gangbusters. We just had this stellar defense. We've never had it all. So right now it's kind of like, man, enjoy it, Bama fans. Our defense is getting good. Maybe they're 50% of what they were in 2015, but we've never seen an offense like this.
Yeah.
I was calling shots tonight. I was like, when Waddle blew it out on that bomb from, I said to them all, I was sitting there with 2 Georgia fans. I'm going, this one's going to Waddle. And because you just know it. You get in a rhythm with this offense, you know where the ball's going. And that is such, enjoy this, Bama fans. We are experiencing something incredible. And right now, I'm not even sure, say if Tua were still on the team and he decided to play his senior year and he was now cleared, his hip was okay, I wouldn't want him to come in for Mac. Wow. Because when Mac took that hit on the sideline and went on his hip, I was sitting there going, that would have that's an injury for Tua. I saw it one too many times. If you fell on Tua the wrong way or he got tripped up going to the sideline, it was a twisted ankle, it was a busted knee. God love Tua, but Mac's a tough what.
Yeah, he is. That's the one thing about him.
Psyched on it.
And Mick and I were talking about that tonight. I was like, look, has there ever been a time where Mac Jones gets hit and you're like, remember when every time Tua got hit, everyone was like, oh my God. Time. Every single time you're like,
every time.
Is he okay? He would go to the medical.
Hold your breath. And every time there was a scrum, linebackers lunging into the pile, someone's coming out of there with a busted knee, a torn ACL, a broken ankle, something has changed. I don't know if it's just luck or conditioning or what, but everyone seems to be tougher. And this is the last thing I want to talk about.
You're
good. Georgia is now going to be on their heels, and this gives so much fuel to Florida to motivate Florida. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bama is playing Florida in the SEC championship, because everyone's sitting here going, oh, we're just going to, this is what everyone was saying in Atlanta, all the sports talk guys. Yeah. Oh, this is just a preview game. This is a preseason game before the SEC championship. Well, after that, Georgia, you're going to be lucky to be in the SEC championship, because I think Florida comes in with a complete fire to destroy Georgia. Because, we're seeing a real deal on A&M. A&M we beat a good A&M team. It's not like A&M is some fluky team that got one by on Florida. I think A&M is good. And I think Florida is ticked off, and here's their window, because now they have a loss to a team in the West, as does Georgia, and everything's on the table for Georgia and Florida. I think Florida's going to beat this, out of Georgia. I really do. And then it's just going to be, here's the thing. This is the chance for Saban to get another undefeated Bama team to a national title. Throughout this dynasty, we've only had it once, so this is that team. Anyway.
All right. Well, Jay, I appreciate you staying up. Try to get some sleep. I know it's tough, but thanks for calling in. We'll catch up with you next time.
Yeah, man. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for y'all, dude. Roll Tide.
All right. Take it easy. Roll Tide too, buddy. All right. That's Jay from Atlanta. We got 2 more callers, 716 and a 205. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? This is Jedrick from Buffalo, man. What's going on?
Jedrick, back with the double dip. Did you call and talk to Mick earlier?
Yes.
Cool. All right, good. Thanks for taking care of it, man. He's good people, man. He's trying so hard to grind. So I respect people who grind. So I definitely want to make sure that, the fam is accustomed to him, and if he ever comes on and fills in or he's here, you guys treat him like family. So go ahead, man. You're on, and your takeaways from the game, Jedrick.
Well, man, proud of the effort, proud of the fight that we gave. Was this the best defensive performance of all time? No, it wasn't, but it was good enough for us to win. We were able – the play of the game, in my opinion, was Will Riker kicking that 52-yard field goal. That was the play of the game because you can tell that it gave a spark to the defense. Mm-hmm. I thought that in the second half we did a better job pretty much dictating the offensive line. Of course, Georgia, it's one of the best rushing offensive lines in the country year in and year out. They always got 4 and 5 stars on the offensive line, so I was not shocked that Georgia ran the ball successfully. Mm-hmm. But what we did a better job at, and a lot of your callers did a good job of really analyzing it, was the fact that we did a better job controlling the edge. We stayed more disciplined off the edge. Our linebacking play was inconsistent tonight, like it was the last other games. But I felt like the defense was the game was won with the defensive line. I got to give a lot of credit to Christian Barmore. I thought Byron Young did a good job in the run department whenever he was in. I thought Justin Ogbobi made some huge plays, especially with that interception. I thought that Christopher Allen had an up and down game, but the second half, he kind of settled down, got his footing, and we were able to see what he was able to do today. I thought Will Anderson had a pretty okay day as well. But yeah, the defensive line won this game, and the fact that our secondary, we were able to come down, make some interceptions, get in the right zones after, having a really good first quarter. And then the second quarter came and then we started to get misalignments. You can see that once again, we were starting to get a little bit confused as far as what play calls are there. And then we try to, we don't know if we're disguising a coverage. We don't know if we're playing man. So we went back to that. And then the third quarter came and then it seemed like we started to settle down and we started to play a little bit more zone coverage again. Josh Jobe got, I'm going to say this about Josh Jobe real quick, Kyle, is that yes, he got torched. He got torched today, especially by Jermaine Burton. Mm-hmm. But I got to give a lot of credit to Jobe as well because he fought. That he needs a lot of work. He's extremely talented, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. But I love the fight. I love the competitive nature of a lot of our guys today, especially with Malachi Moore. Because Malachi Moore was beat a lot today, but he continued to fight. He continued to hang in there. And at the end of the day, the defense made plays that won Alabama the football game.
Yeah, I think you bring up some good points. And I saw that too. I think Josh Jobe, I think Malachi Moore, those guys were definitely tested. Those guys were targeted. Tomorrow, I want to look at the Pro Football Focus numbers overall and see how many times Malachi Moore was targeted in this game. Now, how about this, though, Jedrick? When I look at this game, Stetson Bennett, not the most overwhelming quarterback, but he did put the money he put the ball on the money several times. But how many drops by the Georgia wide receivers?
Oh my goodness! Right? I think that's one of the things that I think that if you're a Georgia fan, you got to be really pissed about is the fact that they had a lot of drops. Yeah. I think if you're a Georgia fan, you also got to be looking at Stetson Bennett, and you're going to be like, what? There were so many reads where it was so many busted coverages earlier on that game that Georgia could have put a lot of points on the board, or they could have capitalized on a lot of opportunities. And Stetson Bennett either didn't see it, whether because his first read was wrong. He didn't look towards his second read a lot. If he would have just looked towards his second read, James Cook coming off the backfield was wide open so many times. And I don't know if our line, I don't know what our linebackers are doing in coverage there, but James Cook was so wide open so many times out of the backfield, whether if it was running in the flats, whether if it was a wheel route, that I don't know how in the hell Stetson Bennett didn't even find him. So yeah. I definitely feel like if you're a Georgia fan, you got to be very, very disappointed in that type of effort. But, like I said, again, the Bama defense, they capitalized off opportunities. They just did. Georgia's defense didn't really capitalize off the opportunities that we kind of gave them, and Alabama did.
Final thought, Jedrick. Go ahead, man. Take it away.
Well, final thought is that we finally got a kicker. After years upon years upon years upon years of searching and finding, I feel like Alabama has finally got their kicker. Last year we was confident in Will Reichert, didn't have a good freshman season, and we all kind of like, we don't have a kicker anymore, and it's going to cost us a huge game. It was actually kind of the opposite. The punting, we didn't lose the game, of course, but the punting was not good. Kickoff duties weren't good as well. It seemed like they were average around 40 yards per kick return. But it was the kicking game that saved us at the end. And you can make an argument that 52-yard field goal changed the entire momentum of the game. You saw that the defense, they had their heads down, in that first half, and then all of a sudden, these guys are flying over the football field. They're high-fiving each other. They're going to Will. Will's hyped up, and this defense came with a tenacity about them that you just have to appreciate. And that kicking is extremely important. It's going to win you ball games. Most importantly, it's going to change. It can change the momentum of the game. It can give a team a spark that they needed, especially in those long field goal attempts like that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jedrick. I really appreciate all the dialogue. I always love to hear from you. You have such a great feel for the schematics. You really see the game well, and I am so glad that you're a part of our show. And I look forward to catching up with you next time, man. Good luck. Who are the Bills playing tomorrow?
Chiefs.
Or today, right? We're now in today. Okay.
Monday.
Oh, you're playing. Oh, so Monday Night Football, Chiefs Bills.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see.
We got on Monday 5.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes, man. I'm intrigued on that one. But Jedrick from Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, Jedrick. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Check you out later.
All right. Cool. Jedrick's always bringing it. Just always bringing it. I love how he breaks down the games. Man, he sees the game, right? I mean, Jedrick's one of my favorite callers. All right, last caller of the night. I know you've been on for a long time. Hey, thank you very much for joining the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Kyle Smith from Lillian, Alabama.
All right, Kyle, ending the show with Kyle. Hey, before we get going, Kyle, thank you very much, Sean. I really appreciate the super chat. It goes a long way. I put a lot into this, so to get anything in return, is greatly appreciated. If you guys could too, also hit the thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. Hit the thumbs up on this video, and stay tuned for more content. All right, Kyle from Alabama. You're on with Kyle from Tuscaloosa. Go ahead, Kyle. Take it away, man.
Hey, man.
What'd you think? Go ahead.
Hey. Love your show. Watch it on YouTube. Every time you post, we watch it on YouTube, me and my son. And tonight I wasn't feeling really good about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Defense came out and plays early. And the biggest thing, Dylan Moses.
Yeah.
What has he gotten smaller since the ACL injury? Slower, smaller?
Maybe I don't know. There's something I can't put my hand on it. I know what you're saying.
No, I don't want to knock the guy because he's a baller, obviously.
Yeah,
but he's not there. He's not the same Dylan Moses he was 2 years ago. Mac Jones, incredible. I can't say enough about him. He puts the ball in the receiver's arms every. Tonight there was a few plays that didn't hit, but overall, beautiful game. Saban came in with a game plan, and Sark had the best offensive plan I think that he's ever had against a game that I didn't think we had a chance in.
You know what?
Because I thought they were going to run the ball down our throats.
You know what? You bring up something. Obviously, credit to Sarkisian. I think he outdueled a very good Georgia defense tonight. Obviously, they put a good game plan in. I thought the offense executed. The offensive line, I thought, did well. Najee Harris, we're not even talking about him. He had a quiet 150 yards. But how about Nick Saban on the sideline? How many times did we see Saban animated? it intensified. And I think, he got that short scare of going home. And I think what we learned kind of overall, and maybe this is the final thought of the show, is I think that Saban, it's clear that he's not ready to leave Alabama. I don't think that he can just go home and watch this program. I think him just going and watch the press conference at the end, he's so grateful to everybody just to be back. And I think
I watched it before I called you.
Do you think do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's not ready to go home. I think that almost gave him a greater appreciation for like being here.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I totally saw that. I think it almost like rejuvenated him, just like a 2 days away. It like inspired him. And I don't think he's close to hanging it up.
Hey, just want to reiterate this. Love your show. Love you with Andrew Bone. With the recruiting, I watch it weekly. And you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I can't thank you enough. And you're a Kyle, so I appreciate that. 100%.
Yeah, how awesome is that, Kyle? Ending with Kyle. All right, thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great night. See you next week with Tennessee.
All right, take it easy, buddy. Kyle from Alabama. Hey, fam. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to end the call-in show. I got a couple.
We are sorry, but the show has ended. Goodbye.
I got a couple more things that I got to do right here on BamaInsider.com. But hey, fam, thank you so much for joining me tonight. What a game. Alabama comes through and beats Georgia was the game that we are all looking forward to as we continue to turn the page. Alabama taking on Tennessee. It's already this week. Remember, this is SEC After Dark. I need some Z's, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back every single day, God willing. I really am so grateful to be here in beautiful Tuscaloosa with my beautiful family, who I can't wait to spend time with tomorrow. Never a bad time to hug a loved one. Be good people. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. You guys are all my family. Hit the like button. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with more content for you right here on BamaInsider.com. We don't stop during grind season. We got to grind during the football season. High achievers don't like mediocrity, right? I'm a high achiever. See you guys tomorrow. Be blessed. Take it easy. Make time for your family. I'll catch you soon right here on BamaInsider.com.